Welcome to the official 20Nothings podcast. That took a little bit of, quite a bit of takes to,
quite a bit.
to officially nail that intro. Eventually we'll have, music, so I don't have to introduce us and butcher us all the time. Okay, first test episode. It's going to be a little rough. We're going to try and find out how things are going, how the setup is. We're going to have to eventually get another room or different mics, but this is just a raw take. A very raw take. Yeah, we're going to have to get different microphones at some point, and probably like a table or something. But either way, this is just a test episode. So if there's any suggestions or problems with the sound,
you can just see the comments.
Yeah, we can just see the comments like this sucks.
There's an echo.
What are you guys doing?
Okay, we'll just jump into it. I think the Super Bowl just recently happened, and I know Danny and I didn't watch it.
Who are we?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I just realized, I was about to say, are we going to do introductions?
Okay,
Who am I?
What are you?
Should I just go with my nickname, or
I'd say just go with your first name.
my Twitter handle?
Don't say your last name. Just go with your first name.
Big
Okay.
69.
Okay, my name's Jeremy.
Hello,
We're gonna
Jeremy.
We're gonna
What is
We're
this,
gonna
an
go-
AA meeting?
counterclockwise.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, my name is Daniel.
My name is Halen.
My name is Luis.
And I'm Jiraiya.
Our first guest on our freaking first episode.
We gotta have guests, bro.
We're gonna
That's
have
the
guests.
goal.
Okay,
Yes, Elon Musk.
so next guest, Elon.
Yeah, next week we have Elon Musk coming by.
No. So we were just talking about the Super Bowl and how disappointing freaking they let us down with SpongeBob, man.
Okay,
They started it.
I will say right now, because I'm full of hot takes today with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's my first thing, is that, did you guys really expect that to happen?
What, like the actual
Like they were
play
going
Sweet
to
Victory?
do it? Yeah, that they were going to play Sweet Victory.
People signed a petition, didn't
Just because people signed a petition
I know.
doesn't mean
That was the
anything.
thing. I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah,
it was just like,
exactly.
just because you sign a petition doesn't mean
Like,
you're gonna
okay.
do anything.
Another, I'm already going to become the bad guy of the podcast here.
Probably.
I'm not a big fan of SpongeBob.
Has
No,
plenty of innuendos in there.
No, I just didn't like the way that the show was going. Like, even as a kid, I was a little too aware that all the jokes were dumb, and I preferred a smarter type of show.
Like what, dude? What was a smarter type of show?
Looks like I'm done.
Yeah, no, I watched Arthur. Arthur taught me those things. Come on.
Arthur was full of life
He
lessons.
was on that PBS Life.
Yeah,
people
dude,
like
because I didn't have
watching
cable.
things
Sorry,
dumb,
guys.
That's why. You're hating
By
on
the time I
SpongeBob
had
because you didn't have.
By the time I had
you
cable, I was on
yeah,
Teen Nick, and I was watching those shows with actual people in them.
with actual people.
But
in them.
the thing though is that I didn't like SpongeBob, so I never had an emotional attachment to it. So I wasn't personally upset about it not happening, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. I think people should have been happy with the little bit that they got.
Oh man,
You know what I mean?
Hated, dude.
I know, people can be mad, you can be upset about anything, but expecting something like that to happen, because there's so many different things that they needed to have with it. They probably didn't have the rights to use the song.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You know, obviously it was
But it's the
gonna be
freaking.
easy.
I
get
it's
that.
the National Football League. I'm pretty sure they could pull some money out and get
Yeah,
something.
but then again, the National Football League is not run by the best people.
Ooh, hot take.
Just
Another
look
one.
at that
That's
NFC
just
Championship.
true. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The NFC Championship was whole bullshit, and it took Roger Goodell almost a week to talk about it. It's like, you should have had a statement with that. Yeah, what did he say about
He's
it?
like, oh, it's just human error. It's like, there's no way you
You're
just turn a
paid-
blind eye, human error.
You're paid to look at people and make sure they don't do anything wrong.
Did he do something wrong?
Yeah, they had blatant pass interference.
I think
I'm in the blue.
what I think
Yeah,
is,
same here. I don't know who you're talking about.
I think with the coaches getting challenges that there should be a flag that a coach can throw
Once again.
Yeah, once a game that they can send to the official headquarters, wherever the NFL headquarters is, and they review it. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I understand that Jeremy and Danny don't watch football, but it's just like that
Any
should be
sports for that matter.
a thing. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Only when it comes to like big events like the Super Bowl.
Championships,
Yeah,
Super Bowl, yeah.
championships.
That's how I am
That's
with
why I
the
was
Personally, more into like
Yeah.
boxing and UFC, even though
Who's
I
your
don't watch
favorite
that.
Oh,
My favorite boxer?
Yeah.
Canelo.
Oh, okay.
Mike Tyson.
speaking of UFC, what about this new card coming up on Saturday?
What's the
We
card?
just saw it.
I haven't seen it.
Well, anyways, Anderson Silva's fighting again.
Ooh,
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay. I know him.
How long has it been?
I just go to Buffalo Wild Wings and I
Like a
watch
few
the
years.
fights.
Couple
every
years.
once in a
It's been a while.
Or after his injury that he had with his leg.
while. Oof.
Yeah, dude, that was gruesome.
I saw that
he was the one
live.
that broke his leg.
Yeah, he was the one who broke
we were at
shin
Beat-Ups
right there.
and we
Yeah.
saw it snap in half.
I forgot about that.
I saw
remember
it when he hit
seeing
the
that.
kick.
Oh my god.
When he made contact with that other guy's leg, I just saw it go.
Dude, that's the worst thing. I never want to see that ever.
That's rough.
I was
I
eating at
really
the moment.
dislike freaking
People
people,
made me spit out
people
my
getting
chicken
hurt.
tendies.
Oh, dude, which reminds me, do you remember there was an old TV show on like MTV or Spike or something like that? It was called like Scarred, where like it was just videos.
That sounds like something from Spike.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just videos of people like breaking their bones on camera.
Oh,
or like there was
watch
one.
that?
I know, it was disgusting.
That was aired on TV?
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
Probably late night.
Freaking-
It was awesome.
No. Look, there was one I remember that just it's ingrained in my head now. There was one guy like rollerblading and like he trips and falls and like he puts his hand out and his like knuckles right here, like the bone is showing on the opposite side of his hand, like popping through.
No.
And I'm like, you're allowed to show this on TV?
Real.
Was it like
It was a
after-
TV show.
Was it like
And you know who the
after
host
midnight
was?
program?
You know who the
Steve
host was?
Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
I'll go with Joe Rogan. That sounds like something up his alley.
No, the lead singer from Papa Roach.
Why?
Yeah.
Who would ever let that guy on TV? Have you seen him?
No, dude,
for
legit. He was the host.
Yeah. Speaking of another Spike show that was really good was Joe's versus Pros. If anybody watched that.
That was.
I loved that show, dude.
Yeah, I love that one.
Well, like they're like LeBron James is kind of doing a similar thing called the Ultimate Mile. I don't know if you saw that on.
I did see the ad for that. That looks cool. It kind of reminds me of how they're doing the Titan games right now, too.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of
The
that.
Titan games is pretty cool. I'll say that. I have a lot of respect for The Rock to take
How
a lot
is-
of risks to do stuff like that.
How was the Time Games?
That's okay.
That's
Dude.
Do you remember American Gladiators?
Yeah, it's
It's a lot like it's pretty much the same.
Dude,
except
how
for
old
that there's
is
not people.
American Gladiators?
American Gladiators? They had it like in the 80s, and then
yeah.
they brought it back in like 2007. I
Oh
think.
yeah,
What was
wasn't
that?
They
wasn't
had
like
it
Hulk
around
Hogan like one of the
High
hosts?
Players.
yeah, he was when
It
they
was-
came back. He was the host.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Hulk Hogan.
No,
yeah, I remember.
Danny.
I like how you're thinking that The Rock is making like risk. He's got so much fucking money.
Get that, but at the same. Sorry, but doing all these different ventures, like he's not like he's on YouTube, he's doing movies, you know, he has like all these brands and stuff
Yeah.
that he's finally going to TV. Well, not finally because he was on Ballers, but that's HBO. That's like
That-
not even TV.
That
at
show's
this point.
amazing, by the way.
Haven't seen it,
Haven't seen it.
Yeah.
but
Oh, I got a couple episodes on my hard drive if you want to watch it later.
oh okay.
Right now?
Pirated?
No, Danny, American Gladiators was the show
No,
that,
okay.
that athletes would come on and they
No.
would do like these little like kind of like obstacle courses kind of
Sounds like
things.
a Ninja
And-
Warrior.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. But there was
Yeah.
there were gladiators, and they all had stupid names like Crush or Speed.
Laser.
Yeah,
You
Laser.
got- You're forced to appear on one of them. What was it?
Ninja Warrior?
Ninja Warrior or American Gladiators?
I'd
Which
much
one?
rather be on American Gladiators.
Yeah, that show
I'd rather
is
have
really
somebody
good.
pelt me
Oh,
in the
hold on,
face
how about-
with a
how about
ball than me
Wipeout?
fall into water.
Dude, Wipeout.
No,
Which one
okay,
would
no,
you
no,
be?
you're right. You're right.
Wipeout
Would
would be
Wipeout,
Wipeout.
dude.
Wait,
I
what,
love
what
Wipeout.
was that? Another
Dude, I feel
show?
like I'd give Eric so bad.
MXC.
I'm so good on
MXC
that.
was good, but that
I
show was
would
just
say
a racial stereotype.
Yeah, it was.
MXC
They just
was
dubbed
good.
over everything.
MXC?
Oh,
Going back
yeah.
to Spike. It was pretty much
That was
Wipeout,
cool,
but
Wait,
it was
I remember-
Isn't that one game show that was like? in
I remember
Japan?
watching
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, this was all
Yeah.
pre-PC days.
Right.
Yeah.
So I watched that show like.
Yeah,
I
I
watched
watching that
yeah,
show,
because
man.
I remember MXC, and then when they were finally bringing out Wipeout, I was like, oh, it's like the same thing, except for with white people.
White people
Actually appropriate.
No, I honestly thought I could do Wipeout. Like, when I was in high school, when I was like half the size I am now, I thought I could do it.
Same.
Because it seemed like fun, you know, like going over, like running over the big red balls and stuff like that. Like, I'd be happy to just like fall on it and fucking
I
go into
wouldn't
the
be able
water.
to do it because I can't swim.
Oh
Same.
yeah, you're
Same.
right.
Can't swim?
No, so if I fell in the water, I'd just drown.
No, but
Guys,
This is like
This
life or death. This game is life or death.
I gotta stay
Today's
alive.
special round.
Dude, it just became Saw.
Yeah, Wipeout more like the Hunger Games.
I just bounce off the ball and drown.
Just like, oh, there goes
Area
Dad.
five.
Oh, that'd be great, man.
I was watching.
Blood.
I was watching World's Dumbest or whatever it's called. It's on. I think it's on Spike. I can't remember what it's on.
What, True TV?
Yeah, True TV. Yeah, I was watching that.
Yeah, that's
Today-
like a Spike.
And there was a guy that was so drunk that he passed out face first into some sewage, raw
Oh,
sewage.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sewage too.
Raw
that reminds me.
sewage.
That guy's got ZZs.
I mean, I have my notebook full of
Yeah,
topics,
HIV
but that
before
was
you
one of
have
the
it now.
stories I had.
You remember America's Funniest Home
Well,
Videos?
falling in the raw sewage?
Yeah, I did. When I was a
Wait,
kid.
what?
You?
I fell in a gutter.
I drove into
was-
a gutter.
It was by mistake. Like,
Yes,
I was
same.
talking. I think I was in the second grade.
Was it Pennywise?
Oh, dude, I wish.
Hiya, Georgie.
Might as well just end
Hi,
it.
Jared.
End it.
You want some popcorn?
No, I was talking to a classmate of mine who I guess lives in my neighborhood. But like it was just him and his mom out for a walk, and like they passed
Small
by my
world.
grandma's house, and I was just standing there talking to him, and like out of nowhere I just tripped and fell into the gutter, and like it was all wet. Yeah, it was.
Well, okay, a gutter is different than raw sewage, though.
Yeah.
No, it just reminded me of.
Oh, okay. Like,
I was
heard
gonna
raw
dive into
sewage.
raw
I'm like, what?
sewage,
Did you,
yeah.
were you,
Did you just
you're
slide
fucking
through the
waste-
grate?
Did you try to go into
You
the sewer?
liquefying to go through the
Yeah, were you
grates
trying to look for the
down
Ninja
sewer?
Turtles? Is that what was going on?
Yeah.
You're like, I want to be Donatello.
Just go into
Oh,
the
dude.
sewers and have a
Have
date.
you heard about that?
What?
The I didn't know about this until recently. That the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is pretty much in the same universe as Daredevil.
Really?
Yeah, because it says in one comic somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it out because
Because they're in Hell's Kitchen, yeah?
yeah, they're
Okay.
the chemicals that blinded
That's
Matt
the
Murdock
like, area of New York. That's
goes
right.
into the sewers, and that's where there was a whole bunch of turtles. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
That's hilarious.
I am
I
not kidding.
would-
I'll look it up and send it to you guys.
Canon?
but- It's canon.
Well,
That's funny
because
though.
they're-
but-
Let's
Because
just get a
Ninja
bunch
Turtles
of
started
backers
as a
and make
comic
that
book.
movie.
Yeah.
Because look,
We'll do it.
Daredevil has like the Hand Clan, and then
Yeah. And the
Teenage
foot.
Teenage
Holy,
Mutant-
holy
yeah.
shit, yeah.
And then Daredevil's mentor was
Sticks, right?
Sticks.
Yeah.
And
Damn,
Splinter.
Splinter, yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like.
Because where do
connected.
you get splinters from? Holding sticks.
I hate you so much.
Dude, splinters were a big fear as a child.
A
Dude,
fear?
Like, it was a fear. Like
How
I
would you be
didn't
afraid
want
of
any.
splinters?
I didn't want to
wood
get
inside
stuck,
of
dude.
you.
I
I
didn't
don't
want
want
wood in
anything
me.
penetrating my skin.
Like, that's a scary thought.
I got
There's
one-
a piece of wood in my skin.
yeah.
I got one time in my butt. I was like sliding on like a wooden bench, and there was like a little piece sticking out, and I didn't know. And I slid back and
Were you
right
bare
there.
ass?
Dude, when I was
No,
five-
I had like
Were you bare?
I had like some kind of like sweatpants or something like that, and it just easily went through. And I got
Oh.
it stuck in there.
Yeah.
That's a
Speaking
yikes.
of fears, there's somebody we went to school with who shall not be named. She had a fear of ladybugs.
Huh?
Huh?
Oh, wait.
Ooh.
Well, he said should not be named.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna talk about it, especially on the first.
Calling you out if you're listening. I hope you're over your fear. I hope you overcame it and you're probably a
Ladybugs?
good person.
Ladybugs.
Ladybugs.
Yeah.
I don't
Why
even remember.
ladybugs? I
Another
think out of all
person-
the insects ever.
Another person, because I thought this was so stupid, and I
Hey.
think some of you guys will remember this.
Uh,
I knew someone that was afraid of whales.
Whales?
Yeah.
Why?
Their songs are pretty
I-
creepy.
why? We live in Idaho.
No, exactly.
Why?
Why would you be afraid of something that you can avoid? You live in Idaho. You're nowhere near an ocean.
Yeah,
Like,
shit.
I get being
them.
afraid of, like, it's kind of like the same thing with being afraid of sharks. Like, you can just not be near the ocean.
I think it's just
Yeah,
the thought
you-
of them. Like, I'm scared of muscular spiders, but that's not a thing. It's like the same concept.
Have you seen that
Well,
one
not
commercial?
spiders that are swole.
What is it, that one commercial? The spider beats up that
Yeah,
guy?
that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking of.
Oh,
I don't like
okay.
spiders.
That scary?
Muscular
Scary, dude.
spiders.
I know they can't hurt me very much.
I just hate really big spiders.
Big spiders? Just
Like
Like,
ones that are
I'm
like the
never
size
been
of
afraid of spiders.
like the body's the size of my thumb. That's it.
that'd be pretty big.
Just get a shoe and throw it at it.
We should watch
The
Naked
fear is
Freaks.
still there.
It's on Netflix, I think.
I know someone who's scared of peacocks
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah,
because of
that's
the eyes.
yeah. No, people that are afraid of large birds.
Yeah.
Like I kind of get that. I'm not afraid of them, but
You guys want to go into that? Like, what's your guys' fear? Because I
yeah, we can go into biggest fears. I think.
I guess we can go one by one.
That's pretty
Yeah,
deep.
we've kind of just been going through just.
This is a big fear.
We've gone 10 minutes.
We got
or
from the
something.
Super Bowl
Let's
to
go.
fears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 15 minutes.
We got 15 minutes. Yeah,
The
see, this
Super
is
Bowl.
like,
We'll just keep
yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah,
You
let's
want
go.
to
just
talk about
about
Super Bowl or
fears?
talk about fears?
I'm scared
Nah,
of the
dude, who
Super
can-
Bowl.
You're scared of the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
The good thing about a podcast when you do it with a bunch of people you know, you really don't need topics. You just fucking ramble on.
Exactly. Well,
That's
at the same
true,
time,
but
though,
at the same time,
well, I
what
think
are we
that's
talking
a
about
good
today?
thing
Or
to
what do we
start
want
with
to
for
talk about
us.
today?
Yeah, we can start with just rambling, so you kind of get like the feel.
I think
of
if
how
you get
all
too
of us
off
are.
topic, it just
Yeah,
isn't fun to
exactly.
listen to,
Like
though.
after this, we would have topics that we could talk about for an hour.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
first,
it's-
like the first.
Yeah, exactly.
However
Like,
many
we're cool.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
I
think-
think.
you ramble.
I don't think having it scripted is a good idea, but having a guide.
Yeah, like how it is.
Yeah, no,
like,
no.
First
Like one or
15
two
minutes, and then
topics.
we dive
something
into
Yeah,
like
well,
fears.
like
and stuff
not scripted, but we can figure out what topics we want to talk about, and then we can like write notes.
That's
like,
true.
Bring down our stuff
I'd say
because
plan it in
if you're
advance.
sitting here trying to think of stuff like off the cuff, you're just like, no, I can't think of anything.
That's why I wrote a whole
and then
bunch
we're
of stuff down.
and then
Yeah,
we're like
but-
an hour in, and then you're like, oh, I remember, but it's like, well, we've been recording for an hour.
I
you
I think
know?
for next
Yeah.
time we should, before we even
Take
start,
notes. Yeah.
just
Well, like we said,
the
like,
timeline.
yeah, like,
Like,
try and figure it
talk
out.
about this, move on to that.
Yeah,
But I think since we brought it up naturally, I think it'd be a good idea to talk about fears.
I'll suggest that too.
Because I was talking
Something
about
like what
that
I
shit
did.
on
Probably you guys
Twitter.
should probably get a notebook, and if
Yeah.
something ever comes to your mind, just jot it down and bring it, and then we can just talk about it before we
Yeah.
start
Or
recording.
we just text it to you and you write it down.
Okay, a little bit lazy. All right.
We should go bring
Jeremy,
up
do all the
notebooks.
work. No, that is a
Yeah,
good
just,
idea.
just in case, like,
Yeah, my
if you're
dad's
working
so
and you have nothing to do, just be like,
Write down
okay,
some
let me.
ideas.
because
Like on top of the topics that I wrote, I wrote down some stories I can get into, some personal stories I can get.
Oh
into,
yeah, there we go.
because there's a lot. I was just trying to remember all
Did
of
I,
them
did I ever
I
tell
got
you
good
guys I was
paranormal
almost
ones.
drowned as a kid?
Ooh,
Because it threw me in the ocean.
in the ocean.
Cousins threw you in the ocean? Yeah.
When I lived in California.
dude, that's
Did you
rough.
piss them off?
No, I was like 5. They just threw me in because they wanted to swim with me. And I didn't.
Oh, so they were trying to have fun.
Is that
I
why you
think-
have a fear of...
No, I'm not
Or-
scared of water.
or
I
not.
just-
Are you
I
scared of the whales?
The whales? I'm
Are
not
you-
scared
Are
of
you
the
scared of
whales.
the
I will go into Lake Bowl.
We'll go to Lake Bowl.
I think the real question is, since then, you still haven't figured out how to swim.
Why haven't I figured out how to swim?
Yeah.
I never went to any lessons.
I never
You
had
don't
a
need-
lesson.
you don't
I
need
never-
a
I just
lesson.
played in the water as a kid, and I figured it out along the way.
I don't think I went to very many bodies of water as a kid then.
Oh,
Besides-
no.
Like that, yeah, it's not like a totally.
Yeah, I almost
for
drowned, too.
everybody, I
Oh,
get
yeah.
that.
I don't,
almost drowned.
I don't have a problem going into water. It's just where I can't see the bottom is what freaks me out.
Yeah.
Or if you can't.
The ocean's
touch.
pretty scary. It's,
Yeah.
I don't
it's
like
bad.
having to sit there and wait.
No,
and
yeah.
hold
When
myself up.
I
you
went
know?
on
I
my
hate that.
What's the
21st
deepest
birthday
part of the ocean?
to
The Mariana
California,
No, I think they found a
I
deeper
went to.
spot.
I don't remember what trip.
Really?
I think the Santa Monica.
The-
Pier.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They
They
did.
found a deeper point in the trench?
Yeah, I believe so.
The trench.
No,
Mariana Trench?
I went to the Santa Monica Pier and I looked out into the ocean. I'm like, oh wow, that's vast.
It is.
That's a lot. And if I
Imagine
were to
being
just go
stuck
in there,
the
I
middle
could
of the
just
ocean
get
for
swept.
six,
Oh, yeah.
7
Yeah,
months.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine being on a floating city in the middle of the ocean. So.
Yeah, I'm
there you go.
terrified
Okay,
to
see,
do that.
if you were in the Navy and afraid of whales, I think that's an issue.
Probably.
You're like, I'm gonna go hang out in the water, but I'm like, oh, there's a whale
I'm
coming.
just crying.
I can't do anything. You
What's the
know.
matter with you? I can just sense it.
There's a whale under me somewhere. How many leagues under the sea? 20,000.
But you got out before you drowned. You just almost drowned, or
Oh,
did you
yeah.
actually drown? And somebody
No, I
else
didn't
did you-
drown. My mom just went and grabbed me. And
Picked you up.
Meow.
Just lifted
I don't
you
think
up.
I drowned. I'm still here.
Whoa.
I think the only reason
Danny's
why
just a force ghost. He's just saying.
He's just a force ghost.
I think the
that
one
pissed
reason
me
why-
off, man. I didn't like it.
What was-
wait, what are
The
you
force
talking about?
ghost.
That's
I
a
didn't
topic
like
for
it.
another day.
You didn't talk about it.
You like it?
I thought it was a cheap
No,
movie.
topic
like
for
it.
another day, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about it for another
We
day.
can't talk about that today.
No,
That's
because
bad.
that
bad.
would take like an hour and a
No,
half
but
just in
that
itself.
you talking about how you almost drowned reminded me of a story when I was like,
Dude, I did a bunch of stupid shit as a kid. I put earrings inside my ears and like just stuffed them in because I was a kid.
Earrings?
like in your
yeah.
ear, like the hole of your ear.
No, like inside my ear hole. I just shoved shit in there for some reason.
why?
I don't know. My mom always told me I would just do really stupid things as a kid.
Did she not stop you?
Well, it was when
Apparently
she was
not.
looking at me.
Smart kid. Yeah.
She probably just looked at Danny like in the corner of her eyes, like.
She's probably making mac and cheese. I'm like, I was out riding my scooter once, and it was like out in front of our apartment area, and I fell, and I got a bunch of rocks stuck in my knee, so she had to dig them out with a needle.
Oh,
Really?
Dude,
Ow,
yeah.
dude.
I was a dumb kid.
When I was a kid, I didn't know how to catch myself when I fell. Like I'd just like fall down and I would just like fucking plank,
Really?
and skate across the ground.
Just face
Yeah,
plant.
no, I didn't know how to put my hands out. Apparently,
You didn't know how to do
No,
a basic human reaction to
No,
falling.
when I was
kiss
in
the
first
ground.
grade. Yeah, no, this is stupid because when I was in 6th grade, it happened to me 3 times in the span of 3 months. Like by the time
you
my
fell 3 times?
Yeah, no, I fell and I would skid, so I had like a giant freaking like.
Oh, dude, there's
On
2
my
stories I have
forehead,
about
yeah.
Oh man, we should
No,
have.
but I did it 3 times, and the last time I remember because I had just transferred to Centennial. That was like the first school that I was at for a long time. And I was across the street because that's where I lived. I was over there playing and I was on a scooter and I was being stupid because I remember this so vividly. There was a rock sitting there and I was just like, I'm going to go run into that rock. Like, who the fuck would do that on a scooter? Like, and I just went through it and I went and the rock like stuck and I flipped over and I didn't catch myself. I just skid on the floor on the concrete. I just went over it. And I had a mark on my head for 3 weeks. It was like a giant, like, not really like rug burn, but it looked like a burn.
Did you guys go to the same elementary school?
Me and
Yeah.
Danny did.
Halen.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry,
And
Jariah.
exactly.
Sorry, Jariah.
Wow,
Yeah.
disrespect.
what am I?
Jariah was
Where
did you go to?
Dedicated
Well,
to school
I
stories.
Sorry.
was born in California and I moved here when I was 10. But I went to Willow Creek was the only elementary school I went to.
Well,
Yeah.
It was right next to my house.
I went to Lincoln Elementary, which is now Ridgeline.
You guys,
yeah.
you guys
So
are
I have a
from
childhood.
Idaho here?
From
Oh,
California.
yeah.
Yeah, you're from California.
Yeah, what's funny though is that me and Danny and Jariah all went to the same school. I was friends with Jariah in 3rd grade. Me and Danny didn't start
Well,
talking
okay.
until middle school.
I have any friends, dude. I had Everett.
No, because all me and Halen would used to do is talk about wrestling.
Yeah, I still like to sit and talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, back
Nobody watches it
in my
anymore.
elementary school in California, I got really into
'cause it's not
wrestling,
the attitude era,
and
man.
legit, I would wrestle kids.
You would?
Like, pick them up over my head and throw them.
Like
Like,
strong.
Dude, we
legit.
used to do stuff like that too.
Oh yeah,
I remember
you
this
put me
one
in a
story.
sharpshooter all the
Yeah,
time.
I was just about to bring that up. No, I remember once I tried to put Jariah in a sharpshooter, and I had it in for like 2 seconds. And he started crying, and then I got in trouble. And I remember I had to help him back to class. He was limping. I was in
Dude, that was
3rd grade.
messed up.
Give him an
Oh, my
Oscar.
goodness.
I was in 3rd grade, and I hurt one of my best friends. I felt so bad.
Oh,
Jeez.
man.
Yeah, I literally brought this up like 3 days ago at work. I was talking about it.
That's like one of the few memories I do have.
Yeah, from
like, third
Centennial.
Dude, are you still into wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
I
I
wrestling all the
stopped.
time,
I
yeah.
stopped around WrestleMania like 22.
No, and I get that. Like, I
Which
understand
WrestleMania
that.
are they on now?
Like
35 is this year.
Yeah, dude, I
35,
stopped
yeah.
a while ago.
No, I've been watching wrestling since
21 was the best.
20.
Yeah, I just
WrestleMania 21.
I don't.
21 was good.
I only
It
watch
was
the pay-per-views on the WWE now.
Yeah, and that's right. That's what I do too. Like, I'll look up on Twitter and stuff and see what happened on the weekly shows.
Who's
But
beefing with who?
yeah, exactly. I like to know what storylines are going on because I fill all my other friends in that I watch the pay-per-views every month. I go over to Jacobs and we watch it there. And I try to fill everybody in because I just
Dude, you're
I
like a
think it's
well of knowledge,
entertaining.
man.
Dude, no joke.
Dude,
Oh,
like
trivia.
all the
Yeah,
concerts
trivia
you go
night,
to, or like all the music you listen to,
Yeah, dude.
is a well of freaking pop
No,
culture.
I'm
here.
telling you,
He's
though.
a well-cultured
No,
man.
I wouldn't even
yeah.
just say pop culture, dude. I have the most like useless wrestling knowledge ever. Like,
Dude, you should talk to my dad.
yeah.
My dad's major, but like all of wrestling
Like,
because he
Like I
He
don't
was
know
born
a
in the
lot
70s.
from the. I don't know a lot from back then, but I do know enough that like I know the facts.
like
and
his
stuff,
favorites were like Ultimate Warrior.
and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
and,
Oh No, his best were
Jake
the
the
Road
Snake
Warriors.
Roberts.
The Road
That-
Warriors.
That
were cool,
was his
yeah.
favorite. He bought a whole bunch of like wrestling DVDs
Yeah.
of like specials like DX and Road
Oh,
Warriors
yeah.
and the Ultimate Warrior and those like box sets or whatever.
Yeah.
What would
my
you call them?
brother
Like
used to buy-
collections?
Yeah, it's a collection set.
Yeah, collection sets. Those I watched a lot, and I watched like the Attitude
Yeah.
Era
Well, but yeah,
up
'cause
until
they were
WrestleMania 22, and then I got old.
Yeah. Well, no.
You didn't get old. You outgrew it.
A
What
little
was
bit.
it?
I mean, it's
Danny?
still fun to
Yeah.
look and watch. I mean, it's still,
Yeah, it's entertaining. Like, yeah,
but
you
it's
can say
entertaining.
it's fake,
I
it's
stopped.
scripted, it's whatever, but,
But
it's
it's-
like
it's
they're still
entertainment.
athletes. Yeah,
Yeah,
these guys are
they're
hella
cool.
ripped. Like,
Dude,
yeah, there's some of them that are
I
giant.
saw
fat,
some of
like-
them at the Boise airport.
Yeah,
Like legit, my
yeah,
dad
when
and
they were here.
my dad and I and my brother went when they were coming over here.
Yeah,
Like a long time ago when I was still in probably like middle school.
yeah.
They went and showed up at the airport, and my dad's like, "Do you guys just want to go meet them, get some autographs?" I'm like,
Ooh.
"Yeah, 'cause there's
that's
only
cool.
one airport. There's only
You can do that. You
Yeah.
just walk right up to them.
Yeah, legit. We went up and we were like, "Hey."
Yeah, that's
We
like
have
one of the
autograph.
few things I've never.
You know
met
who's my
in wrestlers.
favorite?
Who?
Edge.
Dude, I loved Edge.
Edge was.
I hated
so
him when I was a
great.
kid, but that was because
Yeah.
I
I
He
met,
was
hated him
painted
as a
as-
character.
I remember when they
But
did
when I
an
met him, he was
event
like
back
the
in like
sweetest,
2008.
coolest dude,
I
and I'm
went and
like,
saw them.
Yeah,
I like you, man.
Oh, did you see
I'll
they're
root
making a
for you.
movie about Paige?
I did see that. I think it's gonna be garbage. I think making movies about wrestling, like, okay, I'll say this: I never saw The Wrestler, and I know that Mickey Rourke won an Oscar for that, and that was a great movie. But I think when you make movies based on something that already has so much story to it, it's gonna be really hard, and especially because they have fucking Vince Vaughn cast as the head trainer for WWE.
Yeah.
The guy from fucking Wedding Crashers, like,
I never
he's
saw
like,
that, man.
he's like in his
It's already-
50s.
Oh, did you ever
It's already
see
a joke.
Delivery Man?
Huh?
Delivery Man with.
I did see that. I like Vince Vaughn, but I don't think he's convincing to be a head trainer for the fucking WWE. Like, if I see the movie and he's great in his role, then props to him, you know, he proved me wrong. That's like my favorite thing. I love people to prove me wrong. I have an opinion, and if I end up going against it, then fuck it. Okay.
Casted Kevin James.
Oh my god, no.
Here comes the boom.
Yeah, no, but there was a whole. Me and Danny went to this wrestling trivia thing. What was it, like a year, maybe 2 years ago now?
Probably 2
It's
years
been
ago.
a
Space
while.
Bar?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
at
it
the
was
Space
Space
Bar in
Bar.
Boise. And because they used to do trivia every week, and it was always a different topic. And Josh heard that they were doing wrestling trivia, and he was like, "Yo, Kalen's gonna go. He's gonna win us something." We finished 4th out of like how many teams were there? Like 30.
It was a lot.
Yeah, and the only
at
reasons
least
that we
20.
messed up was because it was something obscure that nobody should have known.
Okay, hold
Or
on.
it
Do you
was like-
remember the questions? Because I want to.
I remember one question.
I want to
yeah.
try and answer it.
It was you had to guess the song.
Oh, like
It was a song because it was saying what Weezer song had a reference to New Jack in it. Yeah, New Jack was like a super hardcore wrestler, and I was like thinking because I know Weezer enough, but I don't know their lyrics to be able to guess this. I pulled one out of my ass, and I was like, oh, it's probably El Scorcho because that has such weird lyrics and stuff. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna write down something different. Like I just came up with a different song, and then I was super pissed because it was El Scorcho.
I never doubt yourself.
I was so mad though. Yeah, it was like stupid things like that that everybody got mad at me. It's like, Helen, come on, man, you're the wrestling guy, and it's like, fuck you, it's for a song. Like I didn't know the song. Like
None of us
Danny.
contributed anything besides you.
You got the
math question
Danny,
right.
you got the math question right, and then you had to translate something. Because they were doing a luchador wrestling event, and so they were talking. So they talked about luchadors and stuff. Not
Didn't you know this?
Danny, that was like Danny's like main contribution. He was able to do a math question, and then the other one was that he translated something for
I'm
us.
so good at wrestling.
Yeah, Danny did better than me that night. He got 100% of the questions we asked him right. I got like 94% of them right.
You fucking failed.
I was so mad too because they did them in rounds. There was like 5 rounds, and if you got all 10 questions right in one round, you won a free pitcher of beer. But we kept fucking up, so I didn't get us a free pitcher of beer.
Did we win anything?
The one time that we did
Small
get all the
pitcher of
questions right, we had a tiebreaker with 3 other teams, and it was to know like the attendance at like the WrestleMania that year. And I was like, they said it was like over 100,000, so I just pulled a number out of my ass. I was like maybe like 6,000 people off. I was so mad. I was there to get beer, and it didn't work out.
I was just there to get
It
beer.
was
Yeah.
really fun.
Oh yeah, it was a great time, dude. That's for sure.
Oh man, you guys gotta invite me to this stuff.
This was like 2 years ago, though. Like,
Still, that stopped you?
They probably still do trivia nights. Just
You were busy with.
I don't know if they do. They don't do like themed trivia nights anymore. They do like generic.
Plus.
Just we'll ask you random
What?
questions. And like Josh went to them and said that they were fucking hard. They were like their regular trivia nights were insane.
It was raining.
Like they asked like
which hand does
space
Leonardo
questions and
DiCaprio
stuff
wipe
like
his
that.
ass?
Yeah.
That's right.
No, it's his left. You're wrong. You don't get
Like,
to
how'd
hear
you
it.
know this? Oh,
I want to go to another trivia night.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
We could do it. Just try it. If we get all of them wrong, who
Give me
fucking
some.
cares? We sat there and got
Go
drunk.
get
It's
some
cool.
beer.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's one of the bars I haven't been to.
The
It's
Space
It's
Bar.
pretty fun.
It's cool because I
Oh,
like
Louis-
having all the arcade games.
Yeah,
but when
Louis
you go
told
there,
me,
half the
yeah.
arcade games don't work.
You can be a real
Yeah.
gamer there.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh yeah, because they have a NES, a Super Nintendo, a Nintendo 64, and a GameCube
Right.
set up there, and you just tell them which channel to put it on. You can sit there and play whatever game.
Yeah, you give them your ID and then you get a
Yeah.
game.
One time I went there and there was a guy fucking speedrunning Majora's Mask.
That's so
yeah,
cool.
and he got pissed off because he messed up and fucking grabbed his cartridge and left.
That's so cool. Though.
Yeah.
Did you see how far you got in though?
I
You
would
got
have
pretty
seen
far.
that.
I've never played Majora's
Yeah.
Mask, so I don't know.
Neither have I.
like, how
I didn't have a Nintendo 64.
I remember
Oh,
I
watching
didn't
a
have one.
charity stream on Twitch, and they were
Missed out.
speedrunning
I know, I
Sonic,
missed out.
Which one?
the first one, I think.
Oh, the first one, Sonic.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
Pretty
fun.
same.
I like watching speed runs. I think the art of a speed run is really cool. Like what they're able to do and being able to manipulate the game in your favor. I think that's really
Oh
cool.
yeah, like I remember watching one for Halo, the Master Chief Collection. They were doing the first Halo, and it was crazy because for this one glitch where you could skip like practically the entire map, you could switch it to the original graphics, and you can jump off this bridge.
Oh.
And survive, and then none of the enemies would spawn in. You just go all the way to the end.
Dude, that's cool.
What?
That's
Wait.
hella broken,
Which,
though, but
for which Halo?
The first one.
on the
the first
Master
one?
Chief Collection.
Was it the one was it like the last mission?
I don't remember the mission. I'd have to go back. But yeah, there's a certain point because if you put it in the original graphics, there's like a ledge on on the cliffside on the rocks,
I've seen that
and
one.
then you can fall
That's
down,
really
and
cool.
you'll still take fall damage, but not enough to kill you once you land.
That's cool, yeah, being able to figure out those little things to get past it. Like, sometimes when I go to bed, I put on speedruns, like from AGDQ or SGDQ. They have some good stuff.
Why? Why
To fall
specifically
asleep to?
before you
What?
fall asleep to it?
Yeah, like why not just put something on that's
like
like
white
play for
noise.
3
Yeah,
hours?
so-
Yeah.
White-
so-
No,
He's about to fall asleep.
No,
So you guys
For
just
you, it's white noise.
I just put stuff on and I
Yeah.
just listen to people talk about stuff.
So-
it's like if you fall asleep listening to a podcast. It's
So
like the same thing.
you know
I
what?
don't.
You know what?
You don't like that?
So when
You
I
don't
used to
like
fall
listening
asleep,
No, I have this weird quirk of always going to sleep with the TV on.
It's
Yeah.
so hard.
So I usually just like watch The Office as like background.
It's the same
So-
thing.
So I
It's
get,
the
yeah,
same thing.
I
Alright,
get it.
Dry, what were you
Yeah.
saying?
so what I was saying is what I used to fall asleep to is Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is a good
Yeah,
one.
Bob
see,
Ross
it's
is a
just
good
putting
one.
something on in the
You have
background.
the best streams.
I just put him down to like volume
Do you
5
remember
or something,
when,
so I just barely hear him in the background.
Do you guys remember when Bob Ross first started streaming on Twitch? When he first
I
started?
remember it being a big deal. For me to
It was
watch
because
any
it
of
was for the opening of the whole art section thing.
Yeah, one was.
I
How many years ago was
want to
that?
buy a Bob
remember.
Ross painting.
Huh?
I want to buy a
Probably
Bob
a lot
You
of
Ross.
want to buy one? Yeah, for sure.
They're like they average like $5,000.
Good luck.
$5,000's not too bad.
That's
though.
not bad for,
like
like-
in the grand scheme of art.
Yeah.
You know, like
But he was so
Is that just for one of his
back in the
normal ones?
90s.
How hard
Just
are they
one
to
that
find
I
though?
made
Like how
the
easily
art
can you
painting,
find
whatever
one?
it's called.
Well, he had a couple different they had different series called different. Like one was called like the Joy of Painting.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I was
Yeah.
watching a thing on Game Grumps was doing their 10-minute power hour the other day, and they did an episode where they were trying to replicate Bob Ross paintings.
It's funny because like
Because
when
it
you
looked
when
like
you
shit.
watch Bob Ross and then he does something, it's like, oh, you done fucked up, boss.
Yeah, well,
Bob.
it's like at the
And
same
then
time, he's trying to give you a tutorial, but he's doing it so fucking fast, you don't
Yeah.
know what you're
It's like
doing.
I don't know how back in the 90s when you would watch that on PBS how you would get that unless you recorded it, like put
yeah,
it.
you'd have to record
It's
it,
that
pause it. Yeah. It was like a YouTube tutorial, but you couldn't stop it.
But you couldn't stop.
Cassettes.
That reminds me, my sister dressed up as Bob Ross for Halloween.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a friend when I was on deployment. We did a gift exchange, and somebody got a Bob Ross Chia Pet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I wanted it so bad.
Those are still a thing?
Chia Pets?
Chia.
I remember those commercials.
They're just
Yeah.
not out there anymore.
No.
You have to like
America.
buy them on like off of Amazon or something.
Yeah.
Jeremy, were you gonna say something?
Oh
You look like you had a thought.
no. There
Like
was
a brain
one.
thought. Not
You guys
like
were talking about how
how
expensive Bob Ross's paintings were, but that reminded me about a story of one artist who shredded his own painting
Yeah.
once it was sold for like it was a lot, like probably like $1 million, probably not that much.
Like he
but-
got the money for it, and then he shredded it himself.
like he built a shredder into the frame that
Oh,
once it was sold,
shit.
it slid out and ripped it.
That's crazy.
So whoever bought it was screwed, but it malfunctioned halfway and it raised up the price. Because they're
Really?
like, this is a cool stunt.
Because yeah, like
Once in a
look,
lifetime.
What
This
is it
little
just make
flappy
it?
thing
Like
is
he
at the
made,
bottom.
he made it and he built the shredder into the frame that he put it in, and it was like he waited. He played the long game because he built it like 2 years. Like
Yeah.
it
That
took
sounds
2
like
years
some-
to sell
that
it
sounds like some
or something like that.
Velvet Buzzsaw shit.
What
But
have you
it
watched
was
that?
cool because
I watched
like
it,
the
yeah.
moment
I
it was
need
sold,
to.
the moment they had the auction, and it's live. There's a video somewhere. They had an auction, and the moment the person's like, "Oh, like sold," people heard and
That's
saw
crazy.
it shredding.
That's so cool.
It
though.
is so cool.
That's like
That's
the
cool.
biggest.
Bro, if I was the
deal
person that
ever,
bought that, my
yeah.
heart would sink.
But, however, his statement, I mean, whatever statement he was going with, I'm thinking like,
Yeet.
you're paying too much for
Yeah, if somebody's gonna be paying for
However,
that
that
art,
stunt,
they probably
even though it,
thought
like,
that they're
malfunctioned and
"Whoa,
cut
that's
halfway."
so insane.
raised up the
It's
price.
So cool.
People find meaning in weird situations.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
this is just a blue. Well, what the fuck is it called? Like,
Abstract?
no, like
Little
the thing that
black
you
dot on a
paint
big
on.
board.
Oh.
Like, what,
Canvas?
canvas. Yeah, it's just a blue canvas. So like, oh, this represents depression and stuff like that. And it's,
all
like, no, it's
perspective.
just
It's like, however, the
it's
person,
like it's
it makes the
literally
person
called
feel.
it's literally called blue. No, and that's like,
Like,
stuff
it-
like remember in
I mean,
English class.
I was thinking about it. Of, like, it's however the person perceives it. Like, if there's a painting that somehow just completely reminds me of my childhood, I would pay quite a bit for it.
Yeah, well,
If
it's
it,
like
got everything, like, childhood,
it's
my
like
memories,
we
all
see
that stuff.
you and me are looking at
Somehow,
a painting. I see
I
a
would.
painting of a dick, but you see a painting of something different.
Beauty.
You're like this.
Beauty.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that's a
Saturday
Squidward's
night.
nose. You
People
know,
are-
something like that.
People are looking for meaning in everything. Like art is
Which
just
is
an easy
optimistic.
way.
I'm
right.
cool with that. Like, you should find
Art,
meaning in
art is
little
a good
things
way
like
to
that,
do
yeah.
it and put whatever meaning.
Art,
you have
literature,
behind it, but-
film, everything is up to how you perceive it.
It's like that. Have you watched the episode of Nathan For You where he stunts the pig rescue?
No. Oh, yeah. That's
It's
such a
just
second
like that.
episode.
It's
Yeah.
like people want something to believe in, even if it's fake and there's
Yeah.
no way it could happen. They'll believe it because it's optimistic and it's nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling.
It was a good episode. I liked how he did it. But it's funny though that it was to promote this petting zoo, and then he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let you use the footage or whatever. Like, it's like, no, you can't do this with it. Just because he was like, I think it's too much of a wholesome thing if somebody figured out that it was
It is
fake. Then
fake,
what the
yeah.
fuck?
It's a good show.
Hold on.
Yeah,
No.
dude, you rave about it a lot, and I still haven't watched it.
You should though. It's
I
on
know.
Hulu though.
I don't have
I don't
Hulu.
have Hulu.
I mean, it's stupid.
Yeah.
You might not like it as much, but
I have
No,
like,
from
I
the-
like
from the
Hulu as a
clips that you
platform,
sent,
but they should let more
it's
people
funny.
than two people.
I
I've
think
heard
it's-
good things about it. It's just I don't have Hulu.
I think it's interesting how he breaks down people, and you get to see
Oh,
this different side of them through him pulling these stunts on them.
Cool, it's working now.
Because it's not scripted, like they don't know what's going on,
Uh-huh.
so you get to see this raw, vulnerable side of people.
Honestly,
That's-
like, I think it is scripted.
You think it is?
Yeah, because
I don't
how
think
would
it is.
Wait,
how
what
would
is
these
scripted?
people let Nathan fuck with them? Nathan
Because
Fillion?
they go into it thinking that that he's a legit business.
But I think they're being paid by Comedy Central. They're like, if you do this, we'll give you X amount of money.
I think afterwards,
Because they're promoting your business just from it being on Comedy Central too.
that's true, but I don't think going
You know.
into it they know that it's a Comedy Central thing. I think they think it's him
Yeah,
actually
but
trying
it's
to
kind of
promote a
suspicious
business.
when he's like, I want to bring a camera crew. Well,
If I
for
go-
what? Well,
if I
it could
remember
be a
right,
documentary.
if I remember right, he tells him that he's a part of the show where he goes and tries to improve local businesses.
It reminds me a lot of Rhett and Link's commercial games.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see
I
clips of
remember
that?
those,
Yeah, but they
Do
instead
you remember Gorgon?
commercials,
I remember
yeah.
the Gorgon one, the one about the car.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
fuck.
shift it forward.
Yeah, shift it.
Oh. Yeah, that's like OG, like
OG
almost like
YouTube.
10 years ago.
Back when
that-
YouTube was
when that was
good.
there.
Back
when
Hot
YouTube
take.
was good.
Back
I
when
was
you-
going
when there
back.
was no
I was doing a deep dive
demonetization.
on
Yeah, that is
like
true.
old YouTube videos.
Yeah,
I
Apocalypse.
ran into
Thank
like
God I
old
don't do YouTube.
Smosh videos and SourceFed videos. And
Dude,
stuff
I
like that.
loved Smosh back in the day. Like
I
I still
know.
like all of
Dude, and then I look back and I'm like,
Well, yeah, they're bad, but it's like how I brought up SpongeBob. You know, it's like
Yeah.
because you guys liked it when you were kids, but I didn't have that emotional attachment to it. I do with Smosh, and that's why I still find it funny, but I can recognize why it's not funny anymore.
so is Arthur like your favorite
Pretty
cartoon?
much, yeah. Well,
It's your
Arthur taught
favorite?
you how to be a better person, bro. And they
What
said
was the
Did you-
major life lesson that
Did
you
you
learned
realize
from
that as a
Arthur?
kid, though?
that I'm
When
not
you-
allowed to say fuck it in front of my mom.
Okay.
There's an entire episode about
But
it.
when you were
You don't
watching
say
it as a
fuck.
kid, did you realize that it was making you a better person as a kid, or did you just
As
watch
a
it to watch
kid,
it?
no, because it was a cartoon. Like, now looking back, I see how much impact it had on my actual life. But as a kid, I was like, oh, it's a cartoon.
I don't
It's
think
a
Arthur
cartoon,
had an
they're not
impact
to
on my life.
No.
I just liked it.
I
But it did teach good lessons.
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
I remember my mom would let me watch Caillou as a kid.
Dude,
Right.
Caillou's a little punk.
I liked Caillou.
Oh, dude,
No.
you're in with
He
the hot
fucking
takes.
pa-
man.
That's not even a hot take. Caillou's a jerk. He's a little 4-year-old
Actually,
kid
yeah.
that gets whatever he wants.
He is.
Watch yourself there.
What you said?
No.
Ooh.
No, that's exactly it, though.
But
You think it's
it
an
was funny
analogy?
because I remember a couple years ago when my brother was watching it, like they totally changed it around. He's not like that, kid that pouts all the time anymore.
Is he
Yeah,
good?
but when
Does
my
he have
nephew would watch Caillou when he was 3 or 4, it turned him into a little brat.
Yeah.
And that show never taught you anything. It just showed that, oh, here's a little kid and he gets mad because it was like how kids perceive what parents do.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I want a cookie. It's like, no, you can't have a cookie until after dinner. And it's like, but I want the cookie now. Give me the cookie now. So they're going to be
You want
mad
that
about
beef?
I
it.
thought it was
And
entertaining
then the
as a
mom's
kid.
going to be like, fine,
I
you
never
can have
watched
a
it.
cookie on Caillou.
I never watched
And then
Caillou.
you
You didn't
would
watch
try to
Arthur
do
that
it.
much?
Promoted
Looking
bad
back
parenting.
at it, yeah, he's whiny,
Yeah.
but I
No,
still
it didn't
watched
promote bad
So
parenting.
was-
it promoted a bad kid.
Was
think it
Arthur
made me
your
too.
favorite PBS show?
It was one of them. Like, top 3 were Arthur, Cyber Chase, and Zaboomafoo.
You guys
Yeah, I was gonna say Zaboomafoo.
Cyber Chase was dope.
Cyber Chase was pretty
These
dope
are
too.
all
I
like
liked it. Like, yeah.
deep in the back of my mind.
Did
Like
you
I
guys
saw
watch
some
Fetch
episodes.
with Rough Rough?
I liked Fetch.
Yeah,
Fetch was,
yeah,
Fetch
okay,
came
that
out,
I remember.
Fetch came out a little late.
Fetch
for
was good.
Watching
I still
PBS,
watched
I still
it.
liked it. I know I did too. But
Fetch
it
was
was
fun.
I remember once I was out playing
Rough
across
Rough.
the
Do
street.
you remember,
and I went
Zoom?
back to watch Fetch. I remember Zoom. Yeah, I liked Zoom.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a Zoom kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a kid that went and did science experiments
Oh
and
shit!
with other
The
kids.
electric
Oh,
company.
yeah, I was gonna. That
The
brought
electric
that up.
company,
Yeah, electric company.
when they brought that back, that was like when I stopped watching PBS.
Oh, okay.
You outgrew it. It's like this is
No,
too
I
much
didn't
for
like
me.
it. I was like,
As a kid,
I
this
thought
is
it was how they filmed it.
This ain't Arthur.
Yeah.
This isn't my PBS anymore.
I remember at one point they changed the art style.
Dude,
of
that
Arthur.
sucked. It was
Yeah,
so
they made it
bad.
computer generated instead of hand
I didn't-
drawn.
I didn't like it.
Stupid.
Yeah, no.
Didn't they do that with like
plus-
Dexter's Lab?
I don't
Like they
remember.
changed the art style in Dexter's Lab.
Dude, I had an old
Really?
Dexter's
They
Lab
rebooted
for the
it.
GBA. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Dude, I miss late 90s, early 20s of fucking Cartoon Network, man.
I liked
Me too.
Cartoon Network back in the
And
day.
then-
I remember one time I got scared.
My favorite
didn't
Cartoon
know he was
Network.
good.
Oh man, I can't say it. Never mind.
What?
I was
bad
thinking.
word?
I was gonna say Foster's Home,
Yeah.
but
That was
I just
good.
remembered
That was
Kids
like
Next Door,
mid-2000s.
and I'm like,
Kids Next Door.
which one is
See,
my
I didn't
favorite?
go through that era of Cartoon Network either. My era of Cartoon Network was Ed, Ed and Eddie, Johnny
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah, I watched all those.
Powerpuff
Samurai
Girls
Jack.
was the go.
I hated Johnny Bravo.
I never watched.
Really?
I never watched
Really?
Samurai
I
Jack,
hated
though.
Johnny Bravo.
You hated Johnny
Too
Bravo?
masculine.
I didn't like it.
No,
It was
he's
just-
a, no. I rewatched it now. It's a weird show.
It just wasn't good. I
yeah,
couldn't watch it
yeah,
as a
cool.
kid.
I thought it was funny.
It's
It bored
funny,
me.
yeah.
It
But
bored you.
I think my favorite
It
cartoon was
wasn't,
on
it wasn't
Nickelodeon.
sophisticated.
Rocket Power.
I needed
It wasn't as evolved.
I needed to be
Less than
stimulated.
I needed to
How
be
it was.
stimulated.
Okay, dude.
So
Doesn't be
not
enjoyable.
not based on like
Not
channel,
cartoon.
but what was your favorite cartoon?
Dragon Ball Z.
Like, as a kid
That's
or
an
in
anime.
As a
general?
kid.
As a kid.
Ooh.
shoot, what would I watch?
Mine's a toss up between Ed, Ed, Eddie and
Yeah.
Next Door.
Yeah.
Probably.
I like
No,
Recess
I
a
remember.
lot.
I remember which cartoon I watched as a kid, even though it's a really old cartoon. Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Tom
Oh,
and Jerry
yeah.
was
I
classic.
watched that
Classic.
a lot.
Yeah.
I watched that with my
Boomerang.
dad.
On
Yeah,
the Boomerang
was
channel.
dope.
Yeah.
I used to watch Flintstones.
I could
That's
watch
what
that all
I
day.
watched a lot of Tom and Jerry. Like a lot of
Yeah.
it.
No, if I had to pick,
Family
it would
Guy.
definitely be Rocket Power.
Did you?
No.
Yeah, I never watched Rocket Power, or at least
I
I
did.
don't remember it.
I tweeted that. Who was
Same
your
with-
childhood
Yeah.
crush? It was the Reggie, that girl.
You guys like
Oh.
Rugrats? Rugrats were
See,
good.
and I was about to segue into
Rugrats
that.
was
I
okay.
hardly
I like
remember
Rugrats.
anything about Rugrats, but I remember Rugrats all grown up. When
That
they were
was-
Oh,
teenagers
yeah,
and they were in
dude.
high school.
I didn't like
That
that.
is-
I like their
weird.
That
idea
didn't
of
last
it.
very
I didn't
long.
like that.
It didn't. The idea was cool,
But this is more like
everything about it
fanfic.
was
Like,
weird.
Yo.
They brought in all these
Now they're
random
grown up.
characters.
Do you guys remember the
I think
Hypest?
the Rugrats movies were better.
The movies were good. That's for
You
sure.
know, the
Hypest-
Rugrats
The
Gone Wild.
Hypest. When I
What is
was
the
a
Hypest?
kid,
Wait, what?
the Hypest crossover was when Jimmy Neutron.
Oh my
Jimmy
god!
Neutron.
Jimmy Totally Power.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my
That was
god.
hype.
The
Like,
Power
Jimmy-
Hour.
When I was a
Jimmy
kid.
and Fairly Odd Parents was cool, but Timmy and Jimmy Neutron looked
Dude.
disgusting.
Disgusting.
Giant
Terrible.
buck teeth. He's just like, ha. Segue into that. Do you guys remember the Fairly Odd Parents movie?
Yes.
Oh,
Where Timmy is played by Drake,
Drake
Bell.
Really?
I like Drake Bell. I don't know what you guys.
No, I
People
don't
hate-
hate Drake
people hate
Bell,
on
but
his
I think that is
Spider-Man.
the weirdest.
But yeah, that was
that
weird.
is the weirdest casting because Timmy's supposed to be in like elementary school, right? Or
No, he's
middle
grown
school.
up.
When
Well,
was
yeah,
this
now
movie?
he's an adult. Huh?
Like they just
When was this
skipped from
movie?
his childhood
Fairly Odd Parents
until
movie?
he was like 18.
when did it happen?
Yeah.
2010, 2011. It was what? It was a little bit after. It was a while after Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
I
So
did not
I think
see
he,
anything.
I think he was like 22 at the time.
Oh, dude, Drake and Josh was good too.
Still though,
That's
but
Zoe
no, I mean
101.
though the
I like
character
Zoe
Timmy.
101.
Zoe 101,
Yeah.
the
And
intro
he's supposed to
got
play
me
that.
hyped.
Ned's
dude.
Declassified?
Ned's
Oh my
Declassified
gosh,
was the
yeah.
goat.
That was
Ned's
good.
Declassified was the goat.
That was
I
really
liked
good.
it. I really
That was
liked
like what,
love
middle
that show. I was
middle school around that time?
Yeah, that was middle school. I remember I was so mad that
Even
they stopped
Stevens?
Ned's Declassified.
I was pretty sad.
it. What they?
They only
Not
did
middle
3
school
seasons.
anymore?
Well, I get
Yeah, because that was 3 years of middle school.
It was Ned's Declassified school. It was school survival guide though. It didn't have to be middle school. They
He's
could have
right.
gone to freshman year.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you get
But, I
bullied.
did, but at the same time, though, having great shows like that last so long where the characters get older.
Yeah.
So
Or
you
the
just got
actors get
murked.
older.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
but,
no more surviving.
I miss Steven
No
Stevens.
more guides.
Yeah, back when Shia LaBeouf was a child,
Yeah.
not
I like Holes.
what would you consider him
Did-
now?
Did
you see his movie?
Oh yeah, the old.
Holes was
Holes
good.
was good.
Dude, remember 2007 when it was like Shia LaBeouf's year with like
Yeah, Disturbia,
Transformers,
Transformers,
Disturbia, and Surf's Up. The
Surf's
ending,
Up,
yeah.
yeah.
and
Did
then
you guys
Surf's
ever
Up.
watch Eagle Eye?
Yes, that was one of my favorites.
That was actually a cool
No,
movie.
to be
like
honest,
it.
I think he's on the comeback.
You watch it?
though.
No,
Yeah.
I don't
Did
know
you
what
see?
that
Did you
is.
see that
It's
Netflix
actually
original
cool.
movie he just did?
No.
Who?
Yeah, he
I don't go on
What's that?
Netflix very often.
It's the tennis. It's like based on a true story. It's about
Wait, is it that one with it's like the guy versus the girl one?
no,
yeah,
that's Steve Carell,
no.
not Shia.
But it was what's that one guy, the one tennis guy that was like a complete douchebag back
John
in the 80s?
McEnroe?
Yeah, he played John McEnroe.
How do you
Really?
know that? dude?
Yeah.
Because I remember him from Mr.
Perfect role
Deeds.
for Shia.
Mr. Deeds.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only reason I know
So-
who John McEnroe is.
So yeah,
Who?
they
Who?
so yeah, no, they did they remade so it was a movie based on a true story about him in a fucking Swede in the Wimbledon, his first Wimbledon.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a really good movie. Do you have Hulu?
Yeah, I have Hulu. I
Yeah.
thought that was on Netflix.
No, it's on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I do have Hulu. Okay, that's probably why I haven't seen it.
It's-
then.
it's
I have
really-
Hulu, but I hardly watched it.
He did a
I
really
still
good
don't
job.
know.
Out of the loop.
Yeah, that's
I'm
cool.
out of
Well,
Hulu.
like, I can respect him as an actor, but just, like, his publicity stunts to try and stay relevant are
I think
weird.
that's past him though. I think that's really past him.
I hope so.
He's grown up.
Well, it's like
Because
all
like
these
people
people
change.
that
his,
went
his
through
last really good
Do they?
movie before that was
Next
Fury.
topic.
I never saw that. I heard
Next
it was really
podcast
good, though.
question.
Yeah.
Do
That's who
people
else
change?
was in that? Brad Pitt, Logan Lerman, I think was in it. The guy that played Percy Jackson.
No, that and then the I can't remember his name.
Mexican?
Yeah, the Mexican.
Oh no, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name though.
Yeah, the one.
What?
Just,
The guy-
just
the guy
to let
from
you know,
Ant-Man.
Luis
No.
is Mexican. Actually, like
He's
three
the
of us in,
darkest-
Actually, he's
in
more,
this room is
he's
Mexican.
more Hispanic. He's not Mexican.
Yeah, no. What's his? It's the guy from Ant-Man.
Yeah,
What's his real name?
I don't know.
Luis. Oh, it's Pena.
Oh, him.
Oscar
Yeah.
Pena. No, it's not Oscar
I
Pena.
think
What?
it's
Something
What's his name?
Pena.
Something. I'm pretty sure it's Pena. Yeah.
I thought it
No,
was. I thought it was.
Is it Luis? It might be. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not
No,
looking
I
at
just-
his character
fucking
name,
character.
but yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna
a
look
good.
it up.
he's a
I just-
Like just to clear it up, Luis is Mexican. Just
He's
I
not,
didn't want
bashing them. It's
I can
okay.
say-
I know,
The
but
funny
like,
the funny thing
the
about
moment
him
you hear
is
anybody say
Ant-Man is
Mexican,
I loved
it's like,
his,
ooh.
I loved his like storytelling.
Yeah, I liked it. I never saw the first one, but I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, and his one in there was great with his truth serum. That was fucking funny.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I can't wait till Captain
Michael
Marvel.
Pena.
Yeah, that's his name.
It's Michael, yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
I can't wait
uh,
for Captain Marvel though.
Captain Marvel,
Are you?
I have a lot of... I wouldn't say high hopes for, but I hope it's good.
I hope
It's obviously
Marvel hasn't let me down.
It's Marvel's...
Well, no, they let me down with Thor 2, but
The first two Thor movies were garbage, I'll say it.
yeah.
I liked the first one. It had funny parts, but it didn't...
I tried
And
to
then
have
they
any
eventually-
expectations.
I liked what they did in Ragnarok, where they actually like leaned into Chris Hemsworth is kind of funny, so
He
just
is
lean into
funny.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
lean into
It's
that.
like the serious. It's like serious.
Yeah, the first two movies were just serious.
Yeah, Ragnarok was great. I didn't get the chance to see it in theaters because anytime somebody wanted to go see it, I was either at work or it was too late or something. But I really enjoyed it when I finally got to watch it. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I liked how they kind of wanted to make it more like Guardians of the Galaxy, but having their own cast because like that movie, Hulk stole that entire movie. For
what
me,
movie?
in Ragnarok, I thought Hulk was the funniest character in it. I like
You
Thor,
think?
I haven't
but I
seen
think Hulk was hilarious. Yeah, because like when Thor leaves and then he freaking chases after him, he's like, "Friend, no, friend, stay!" I thought that part was hilarious. It was so good.
Well, no,
Funny-
they've been
but-
stepping it up.
Funny thing about Chris Hemsworth is he actually stole that job from Thor from his brother.
Yeah, that's right. Huh?
Yeah.
Did you know? Fun fact. To
fact.
tie this back into where we were with wrestling earlier. Originally, Triple H was going to play Thor.
Really?
Yeah, they were.
I can see it a little bit.
Before
I can
they
see
were
it.
going to start.
I
the
mean,
whole
I can see
MCU
how he
thing.
looks like.
Back in like 2005.
I don't know if I was acting.
Back in no, he's not a good actor. He's a great wrestler and has a good wrestling persona, but he's not a good actor.
Yeah, but his
I have a lot of
like
respect for
his
Triple
appearance.
H. Like, please,
Yeah, I
I
can
would
see
have
him
wanted
being-
to kick
Stick
my
to
ass
wrestling,
when he
please.
hears this, but
They're-
no, it would have been interesting though to see him as Thor. Like he has the look, obviously, the long blonde hair. He's fucking jacked. You know, it could have worked in 2005, but it probably would have been a garbage movie. I think they went the right way with Hemsworth and held it off.
Well,
for a
and
while.
then but also look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Like Batista, he has the second easiest job.
that is true.
It's
Behind
like-
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I'm Groot.
Yeah, no, dude, Batista's Drax is great. I think that's
That's
one-
it's
Yeah,
good,
they
but
did really
it's
good.
a simple
They did
role.
Really, really good with him.
You know,
it really is, yeah, just to be like a meathead, pretty much.
Yeah.
I really liked Guardians. I thought it was
is there a third one supposed to come out?
it's really up in the air. At the
Yeah,
moment.
it's
They don't
delayed
have a
because of
director.
James Gunn being.
It's
Okay.
probably going to be after the
Yeah.
next Avengers.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and-
Well, no, it was originally supposed to come out next year, I want to say, but they had to push it back because they don't have a director. The whole cast said that if they didn't use James Gunn's script, that they would walk out. That they wouldn't do the movie because, like, I understand the reasoning why Disney and Marvel fired James Gunn. I
Why?
get that. Well, because a bunch of like his old tweets came out. You know, pretty much what's happened to everybody. You know,
I think
and
it's
I
stupid.
understand, but this was before he was famous. It's like he was a different person then. Just let it go. That's how I see it.
I think it's stupid.
Like, I can see why people would be offended, but it's like, this is something that happened 10 years ago.
Like go
He's
go.
a different
if it's-
Yeah,
person
literally
now.
go on anybody's tweets 10 years ago.
Yeah,
There's
10
gonna be
years
some
ago, I
stupid
wanna
shit
see
on
what
there.
they
Exactly.
said.
Like, okay,
That was
Louis
different times.
C.K., Louis C.K., his whole thing, that happened recently. That he deserved everything that happened to him for being a horrible
If
person.
it's, if
I
it's
never-
James
recently,
Gunn, this
then
is
yeah.
something from 10 years ago. He doesn't deserve to be fired because he helped create, you know, what is the Guardians right now. Like, you know, taking it from the comic books and he brought it to the screen and made it great. And who knows if someone's going to ruin that if they use someone else.
True.
You know? That's just how I see it. Like, yeah, that's a topic for another day to talk about, you know, people's old tweets and how that should be, but I just think it was unfair for him. I see why they did it, and I can respect that, but personally, if I was in charge of Marvel, I wouldn't have done it.
I'm glad I don't tweet much.
When you do, it's...
Like, I legit never
when you
posted-
do, it's my life is in shambles.
One of my most liked
Which
tweets.
relatable, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just a big fan of Chris Pratt. So.
Chris
Chris
Pratt's
Pratt.
great.
Yeah, he's great.
He's such a
I
good
like him.
actor.
I remember when he got cast, I was like, the guy from Parks and Rec? Like, what the hell?
Like,
that fat guy?
I like
Yeah, fucking
he's
Jack.
the only thing that makes the new Jurassic World movies entertaining.
I don't even want to watch him.
You haven't watched any of them?
I've never seen a Jurassic Park
Did
movie.
you guys
Did you
watch
see the last
newest,
one?
The newest one?
Yeah.
I watched it.
Do you remember that dock scene with that like big long dinosaur? What is it called?
The Megalodon?
What?
I want to say
No.
I want to say Brontosaurus.
That's a shark.
I want to say Brontosaurus, but I
Yeah,
could be wrong.
that's
Brontosaurus.
Pretty sure you're talking about my
Brontosaurus.
dick.
The tall vegetarian ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
it
Brontosaurus.
vegetarian?
Did you cry?
Oh, no, I didn't cry.
Dude, I was close.
Yeah?
I don't know.
close.
Just
I
like,
laughed.
I see the in movies like
It was
those, but
pretty
I
sad,
think some
but I
of,
didn't cry.
I think some of those
No, I was
big
close.
blockbusters, they're just
In-
made to shoot out and
No, they
make a
are.
bunch of money.
Because they know they're gonna get
Same
them. Even though it's gonna be a shit movie, they know they're gonna get their money.
I
back.
put the Jurassic World movies. I'm not bringing in the first 3 Jurassic Parks. That's like not dead and gone, but that's in the past. I put Jurassic World up there, and they're going to be the new Transformer movies.
You think so?
Oh,
They're
like
gonna
how the
be-
first.
Like
Few-
the first Transformers movie, I enjoyed, but then after that, you could tell that it was just cash grabs for them to make
What do
a
you
bunch
guys,
of money. And
especially,
markets.
especially when they
On that
cast
Fast
John,
and Furious thing?
Wahlberg.
On the
Mark
the
Wahlberg.
Hobbs and.
Hobbs
That's
and...
Oh yeah, Hobbs,
Hobbs and Shaw looks great. I will say
Really?
that. I am not a fan.
Personally-
I'm not a big fan of Fast
I
and
mean,
Furious.
I don't
I feel like they're
I
I
don't
don't go
like.
that far.
I don't like how it's. In
I feel like they're just
the
milking
Fast
the
and Furious.
franchise right
They're
now.
dragging it
Well,
on.
yeah, they definitely
Because
are. They should have ended the entire. They should have
From
ended
what the trailer
franchise
shows,
with-
it looks like Idris Elba's like a
Seven.
freaking super villain.
He is.
Like
That's
this has been a movie, a franchise about cars, and now he introduces a
It's
super villain.
Number one, it's a spin-off, so they can do whatever they want. I think it's a good movie.
But it's
what
still
they,
in the same universe
I
that
get
has like a
I
super
get
villain.
that, but this is something that they should have done after 7. They should have stopped the series with Paul Walker passing away out of respect for him. I understand why Vin Diesel wants to keep doing it because it's a series that he's passionate about and pretty much the only reason he's still famous right now. Hot take. But
Ooh.
I think this
That's
is going to be
true.
fun. I think it's going to be a
He's
fun
great.
spin-off. It's going to be like how Bumblebee's doing right now. Because like the first
still haven't
4,
seen
I
it.
haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people are saying that it's, it has like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it being placed in the
Yeah.
past, and then the characters are going back to their
it's
more
ki-
classic
it's kinda
designs.
like
I
what-
think that's cool.
It's kind of like what Disney did with Solo or Rogue One.
Let's not start with that.
Did you not like those?
I enjoyed them, yes, but neither of them needed to be made.
Yeah, that's true.
But you also
That's
you,
very true. They didn't
but
need to be made.
No.
But they
also,
were both
if you
really
think
enjoyable.
about it, Disney bought it. You think they're trying to get their money's worth out of
I
it.
get that, but at the same time, if you just did the 3 movies, you're gonna make fucking bank no matter what. I understand getting more money, but now look at it. Solo didn't do as well as they expected, and they pretty much canceled all the movies they had planned. They're instead gonna make TV shows for their streaming service based in the Star Wars universe, which I think is cool too.
Oh, what TV show were they doing? They're doing.
They're doing the Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah, the
one.
Mandalorian
Like
one.
going back, like it's gonna be like around Boba Fett, right?
I don't.
Or like
Yeah.
that race.
I think
or
I heard
whatever.
about that.
I don't know for
Yeah,
sure.
it's those bounty hunters. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. Like, make it like a gritty kind of thing that they're going for. Like how DC did Titans.
Wait, the
You know?
Mandalorians? They're not bounty hunters.
No, they're not
They're
bounty
just
hunters. They're like
warriors.
they're warrior.
Well,
Like
still
Saiyans.
though, yeah. Well, still, yeah, they're warriors. Just Boba Fett was hired to kill people. That makes him the bounty hunter.
Makes them the bounty. I misspoke. I know Star Wars.
Nerd. No, and I think that's cool, but it just showed that they didn't need to do it because once they took everything out of the hands of JJ, it kind of stabbed him in the back. Like I know I didn't want to talk about this earlier, but it's kind of happened.
Yeah, no, like I didn't care for The Last Jedi as much as I did for Force Awakens.
Force Awakens is definitely a better movie.
I thought we were going to talk about this on a different
I know,
podcast.
I know,
This is
but
the
we're
beginning.
already
full
here.
circle.
We're full circle.
Well, how long?
Yeah.
This is how we're gonna. That's how we're gonna end it.
Yeah,
We're just gonna
Danny's
full
right. This is
circle.
full circle.
Because it's been going on for like 58 minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's eventually gonna have to wrap up.
Yeah, let's just okay,
So, like,
let's-
full
let's
circle
end
back
with
into
this.
Star
Yeah,
I was tired of Disney remakes.
Star Wars. No, like okay, I
Aladdin?
enjoyed The Last Jedi for what it was, but it's definitely not my favorite Star Wars movie.
My
favorite Star Wars movie will always
The
be
only
Empire.
reason I don't like it that much is because of
It took too long.
how much they set up in Force Awakens.
yeah.
They set up like who's Rey's parents, who's Snoke, like what's all this stuff, and then the freaking
And then
Last Jedi. It's like none of that mattered. We didn't care about it.
Rey's parents aren't
We lied.
anybody you need to care about.
Snoke dies.
is dead.
Yeah.
Who cares about him? Like
Yeah, well,
you set all this stuff
I
up.
was talking to my
Why?
brother today, and he said something that Ryan Johnson was wanting to switch the roles of Rey and Kylo. That Kylo was going to end up being on the good side and Rey was going to turn bad.
That
Which I
would've
think that
ruined
would
it.
have been stupid. Like, it would have been interesting,
No,
yeah.
I
but
get
I don't-
what he's trying to do.
I
because
get it too.
because
but,
the original trilogy, I think somehow Luke was supposed to become a villain.
yeah, I have heard that.
So I'm guessing that's where he wanted to, like,
Go back to that.
we were going to do that in like the original trilogy. Might as well do it now.
Kind of have it be like a callback. In a way,
Yeah, but still, I did.
I think it would have been
the only cool
to
scene.
see,
There's
but-
2 cool scenes that I liked.
And which one?
The Last Jedi. It was the hyperspace through all the enemy fleet.
Oh, yeah, cutting through all the ships.
Yeah.
I thought
That
it
was
looked
cool.
but it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know, but it
It
looked
made
cool.
zero
And then
sense,
when
yeah.
Rey and Kylo,
Rey and Kylo are
Fought
fighting.
the-
Yeah,
the-
that
I thought that was
was
the only cool one.
that was fucking dope.
that was cool.
That was the best.
Other
like,
than that,
lightsaber
I
battle.
disliked all of it. I did
Well,
not
and
like.
that's the thing too.
Like,
I
they're
love
freaking-
the original
like,
trilogy.
When
but
they
didn't
went
have
to that
lightsaber
casino
battles.
planet
Yeah.
for no
The casino
reason.
planet was
Like,
weird,
There was no
That made
reason. Like
no-
the reason was to get a hacker or whatever.
and it was to keep.
But they didn't
Finn
get him
in the story.
anyways.
Yeah, no.
It was to keep Finn in the story. That was all it was.
That was it. And then he was almost really close to dying. Even though I didn't want it, the way it was heading, I was like, all right, I get. That can be Rey's push into the
Into
dark
the
side.
dark side. Yeah,
That
if her
her
only
friend dies.
is
Yeah,
dead. Yeah,
yeah.
That would have made sense.
That would have made
Besides
sense.
Chewie.
But last
Chewie's
minute,
her friend.
friggin'
Yeah.
got saved, and I was like, why?
Yeah,
Finn
like
is the new
we're
George.
I
gonna
think
beat him with
one
love.
thing they did
Yeah.
right, in my opinion, one thing
They
did
have
right
guns.
was having
They have big robots, dude.
All we need is love.
I think one of the only thing that they really did right was having Luke die. I think that was a good decision
Yeah.
in
Luke-
the first place.
Dude, Mark Hamill wanted to die for like the
I
longest
know.
time.
Well, so did Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
He wanted to die in the original trilogy, so they let him die in Episode 7. That made sense.
I wanted
and it made
him.
sense for Kylo's character progression.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
killing his father was what finally made him fully
Luke,
evil.
Yeah, Luke should have died, but I prefer him showing up on the planet himself.
Yeah.
And then
That
dying
would've
that
been
way
better.
instead of
Yeah, dying with honor instead of dying by being a little bitch.
by proxy.
Wow.
I thought it was cool. It was a cool scene, and it like made sense because his hair's darker. You know, he's
No,
actually
the
being
moment
able to fight. You
I
could tell
realized
he was a
I realized
ghost.
something was off when he brought in the
Or a
blue
projection.
lightsaber,
Yeah,
and it broke like a couple scenes before. Like,
Yeah.
how do you have that? This isn't real. This is bullcrap.
right. Yeah, like watching the movie, like in the moment, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, I'm just like, how is JJ gonna wrap it all up now?
Yeah.
He's gonna have to have like a 3-hour movie for Episode 9,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I don't think Disney's going to be scared of doing anymore, since that's the plan for
Or-
Endgame is to be 3 hours.
or
Really?
part 2.
Really?
They're not going to do the part 2 thing,
Oh,
because that
dude,
would be
would you-
Episode 10.
Yeah, no,
Would you
What?
sit in the theater to watch Endgame if it
For
was
3
like
hours?
three,
Fuck yeah.
3.5 hours?
Hell
It was
yeah.
good.
but so
If
full,
they had an intermission,
No,
that'd be
no
smart.
intermission, no
They're like,
breaks.
Iron Man's dead. Okay, you guys can go and get concessions and piss
So-
real quick. Come back and see
Short
how he
break.
comes
so
back.
full disclosure, the only
Curtain
time
goes
I sat
down.
down to watch Infinity War, I fell asleep. So I haven't.
You fell asleep, dude. The Cardinal
dude,
sin.
Seeing that-
so I was.
I fell asleep.
Shame.
So no. So what happened was, I was on deployment and we got the movie. We got the movie a week early before it was released, and we were getting ready to pull into Hawaii, and I was just dead ass tired, and I was working nights,
That makes sense.
and like I got in, and then I was at the point. I think it was it's like when the Guardians of the Galaxy they were doing their thing.
When they first showed up, that was like what, half an hour in?
Was
It
it?
wasn't that far. Yeah,
It wasn't that-
They
it
were,
wasn't
they were
even
brought
that
in
far
within
in.
the first hour for sure. Because
Yeah.
well, it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no,
Almost
wow.
2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Pretty long.
I was beat though.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you though, if Endgame is 3 hours, I'm fucking in. I don't care. I'll go see it at 10 o'clock. I'll be awake forever. I'll sit and
I'll
watch
pop
the
a
whole damn movie.
5 energy shot.
Yeah, 5 hour energy.
Yeah, when does that come out?
In April.
Oh,
In
okay.
April, yeah, like April 26th, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does Captain Marvel come out?
March.
Really?
March 6th.
Yeah, something
Or-
like
Oh,
that.
it's almost March. Holy crap, dude.
Whatever, yeah,
Next
it's March 8th or the 2nd.
What are you talking about? February just started.
Well,
yeah,
it's
but
almost
February is a
March.
short month, though.
What are you doing for
Is that
Valentine's
a short
Day?
joke?
Oh, we should save that for a different podcast. We don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
What?
He asked me what we're gonna do for Valentine's, or what I was gonna do for Valentine's Day.
Nice segue into next week.
Next week, our next topic is because
Us
we
being
do have
lonely
to.
on
alone.
Valentine's
We do have to
Day.
stop. Yeah, we'll try and get an episode out before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and cut this one up to
Or you
Probably
just
come
do
out
it
to the
on
end of the week,
Valentine's Day
45
for all the
minutes.
lonely people.
like a live stream. No.
A live stream that 3 people will watch.
Yeah. No. We'll
Our
record it
friends.
and then put it out on.
We'll try our best.
We'll try our best. But
Who's going to be the guest next week?
Me again?
We got Jiraiya here.
I mean,
Tyler, if you're listening,
listening.
we want you.
If he made it this far.
Yeah.
we want to know about your juicy date.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Okay.
But that,
What's
yeah.
our-
Gotta
Give
get
us-
on the outro.
If you're listening to this, hopefully you are. Just give us feedback at our Instagram or our Twitter.
Yeah.
At 20Nothing.
Yeah, at 20Nothing, no S.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why we did that.
Somebody forgot an S.
Right, let's call it 20 nothing.
I didn't make the
so
Twitter,
then
so.
it's like, okay, 20 nothing.
Because I wanted that to be like a brand we can do.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Are you
Okay,
gonna
that
do-
makes sense.
Are we
okay.
going to get shirts?
Eventually,
Cool.
we'll get merch. But yeah. Like I was saying,
Oh,
give us your feedback.
Let's
let
look for
any of us
design
know.
This merch.
Oh,
Make us a
yeah.
design. We should have him make us a logo, actually.
I'll try and get.
Commission. For,
Yeah, if there's any
I'll buy you a
commission.
beer.
But any feedback would be great.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like just from this first
Do you
time,
guys
doing
have
it, it's
any-
been a lot of fun.
If
You got any
anyone
parting
wants us
words?
to talk about something as well.
Oh yeah, give
Oh,
us-
yeah,
give us
suggestions.
If anyone
We have a lot
has
of
topics.
things.
Jeremy.
Yeah, we have a list
What?
of topics.
Sounds like I'm not racist.
That's
just
your
to
parting words?
clarify.
Parting
Just to
words.
clarify, I think that's what we need.
Luis
to,
is not
I think that's
racist.
the overall.
Racist.
Like, what's the overview of today? Is that
if you
Luis
want to
is
donate to our
racist, that's what we
Patreon,
learned. Are we gonna start?
We don't have a pic. No, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
Not yet.
we're
We'll
just
let
doing
you know.
this for fun.
we'll
until-
send signed Polaroids.
But yeah, I
But
think.
do you
I
have
think
any
this was a
parting
good
words?
first
That was a
episode.
good first episode.
Yeah, I think each of us could do like a little
Anything
outro.
from
I'll go first. I think this was a lot of fun for a first try. You know, like, yeah, it's going to be a little rough for a little bit until we figure everything out because really you kind of have to go into these things blind, you know. You just have a microphone, see what you can do, and then go from there.
Sit and talk.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Like, I know today was kind of like pretty much a clusterfuck of talking about things, but at the same time, that's how we are. We're all just friends talking, and you know, from here on out, we'll have
We hope our
more
audience can
topics
relate
and
to that.
everything. It'll be, yeah. We hope that people can find like they're like, oh, we want to relate to friend groups like people that are in their 20s, you know, and have gone through and
Oh, should
all
we
the
part
nostalgic
with
stuff
what
with
our
us.
whole entire meaning is, or like our backstory, or not? Not backstory, but like
yeah, we kind
what
of
our
forgot
point
to
is.
bring up what our point.
Okay.
was.
We should
Yeah.
Just a
talk
test
about
episode.
our life story for an hour each at the end.
Yeah,
No, but like the whole point.
Next
The whole
episode.
The whole point is, I think we're just trying to reach out to people, like just trying to relate with people. We're
We're all
The,
different
like,
types
the-
of people.
we're in our 20s.
Misfits trying to fit in, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, like we pretty much don't have much going on, but we just figured, you know, 2019, might as well just do a podcast with our
Yeah,
friends.
today's day and age, this is the best time to do something like this.
Yeah.
It can happen
something
to anybody that.
for me, I know it's like coming out of my comfort zone because people are gonna have to listen to this and they're gonna hear my voice.
if they choose to.
If
yeah.
they choose to.
They have to listen.
They have to listen to this.
What are we, communists now?
But I know
We
it's
should
just
leave
something I
feedback is
Yeah,
the biggest thing, I'd
definitely
say.
any sort of feedback from anyone will.
And hopefully you enjoyed it. If
hopefully,
not, that's
hopefully
okay.
positive. If it's negative, we'll do our best to work with
Negative
it. But
is
if you're
good
just
as
being
well.
a
Or, like,
jerk,
constructive
don't-
criticism.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
constructive.
Yeah, don't be a dick. If you want to be, that's cool. But
If you want to be a dick, DM us directly.
yeah, please do. We're gonna set our DMs to private. So we'll have to accept it and fight you.
Just be mean in private.
But yeah, I think this was a good first try.
It was a good first try.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we can continue. We're gonna continue this.
Oh yeah.
Regardless.
Even if, it takes a minute. You know, we're just having fun with this.
Yeah.
Plus, it's an excuse for us to hang out once a week.
Yeah. Also, for like me personally, it's been nice to like catch up with everybody because I've been out
we haven't
for so long.
I haven't seen you in like
We should
almost 2 years
we
now.
should start our
Maybe a
our
year.
podcast with a catch up segment each.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. Thank you guys for listening.